What's up, guys? How we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Today, we're going to talk about I've been doing a little bit of soul searching, and I think it's time for me to do a sabbatical. I don't know if y'all know what a sabbatical is, but it's not what a lot of people think of a sabbatical. I'm not talking about taking like time off of work or whatever, because there's a lot of people that do that. They think a sabbatical is time off of work. I'm going to take a few weeks or a few months or something off of work. It's not that. It's more of a spiritual sabbatical. Like, I think it's time to take a break from the world. Like, there's a lot of craziness going on in the world. The world's getting extremely crazy, and there's a lot of nonsense going on, and with potential world wars, potential civil wars with, Iran and China and Israel and, Russia and Ukraine and, all that kind of stuff that's been going on, and, these no kings protests and, with all of that. And it's not, I kind of live in a smaller-ish town, and in a reasonably decent state. So we don't really get a lot of that. That's not really much of a threat. I mean, it's a threat. It always is, and they've got these potential sleeper cells that they talk about that could be happening. But like I said, I live in a fairly decent town. There's always, people, what it's just, this in the scriptures and in Revelation, it says, "Come out of her, my people." And there's more to it than that, but "Come out of her, my people." And it's like, well, if I live in a small town, I kind of already did that. But there's still a lot of people, and but maybe the way I see it, maybe that also could mean, because social media, because I've been doing a lot of, sometimes I stay off of social media. I just stay away, and that seems like when I'm doing the best. But once I start getting on social media and my feed's full of negativity and full of left wing and full of political garbage, and occasionally I'll leave a comment on something, just like, oh yeah, I'll leave a comment, kind of give my view on it. And then here come all the haters, and they start just bad mouthing and bashing, and they can't stay on topic. They just go crazy, go hog wild on just bashing. And it's like 10 of them against one of me. And I'm like, and then I start going back at them, and it just gets to me. It puts me in a bad mood. It wrecks me. I try not to be triggered over it. I try to just whatever, if you can't stay on topic and move on. But, I've got all these people, and they're coming at me. They're just, what's up, guys? Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to jump on real quick and do a quick shout out to the sponsors of this video, which is first and foremost, the Lord above, the creator of the universe. Without him, none of us are anything. We're all nothing. And secondly, I wanted to shout out to the subscribers of this channel, because without the subscribers, this channel's nothing. And we're growing slowly, but we're growing. And I get between 1 and 10 new subscribers every day. So I see every single one, and every one I appreciate. It's amazing to me that I even have as many as I do. But my goal for the year is 8,000. So if we can get that by the end of 25, that would be awesome. And if those of you that have subscribed, again, thank you so much. You're the life of this channel. And those of you that haven't subscribed, if you want to, maybe not right now, but if you want to watch for a few more minutes, and then if you want to
go ahead, make my day.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and subscribe, that would be fantastic. But again, it's up to you. If you feel like it, if you feel like you're getting anything out of this, I'm working on a few things that I'm going to come up with, some new videos and some new ideas that might help you out a little bit. But anyway, again, appreciate y'all. Love you. Back to your show. So I think, and I'm not saying I'm not going to keep up with the news, and I'll still come on and do videos. I'll still do some of that. I'll still get on Facebook. I'm just going to kind of stay out of the comment sections, even if YouTube, even on some of these videos, if there's some hater comments, I'll just delete them. I won't get too involved in it, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. it drags the spirit away because I've kind of had some coming tos, and I've been reading the scriptures on, and I need to get back in tune with that because it seems like I'm a little better off when that happens. So come out of her, my people, to me is, I don't live in like the really rural area. It's a growing town. They're growing now, but it's still fairly small at the moment. And so to me, that means coming out of, staying off of the internet because there's a lot of crazy people on the interwebs, on the social medias and stuff. So, and the mainstream media and all, it's all kind of a joke. But, and a lot of it's coming from, the right. It comes from the left. It comes from both sides. You've either got the anti or the pros, the anti this and the anti that and the pro this and the pro that. It comes from both sides. And it's, regardless what side you're on, you've always got, somebody on the other side. You've always got, gun control. You've got your gun controllers. You've got your anti-gun, your pro-gun. You've got it's just, because I think for myself, I don't try to go on to, I don't necessarily believe just because I voted for Trump doesn't mean I believe everything he says. Doesn't mean I vote everything with the right. Doesn't mean I vote everything with one side. Because there's things that I kind of think about when, like for instance, 2A, if we're talking about like guns and stuff, because we talk about guns on here, and that's a big thing for me is I'm keeping my guns. You're not taking my guns, and I'm going to battle against all that. But there's some certain things that I believe that some of y'all may not believe, that you may think that that's anti 2A or some things. There's some states that come up with like duty to retreat laws and stuff. We should be doing that anyway. And there's another big one and I might get, like I said, I might get called anti 2A, or I might get some hater comments or whatever, but you have to be 21 to buy a pistol, but you can be 18 to buy a rifle. And I know a lot of people we need to drop that age to 18 to buy it. I think they need to raise it to 21 for both, because, and I know hater, here it comes. But the reason is because 18-year-olds haven't still fully developed. They're still kids, in my opinion. Yeah, they're maybe legally adults, but they're still, I don't think they're still mature enough to really own firearms, because they're still going to want to show it off to their friends and their buddies, and they've, especially if you haven't been taught well. I mean, you could come from a family that didn't have guns or whatever, but now you're 18, so now you can buy your own. You can buy you're 18, so you can buy an AR-15 now, and I think it should be 21, period, personally. And I know, and again, bring on the hater comments, I'll just, whatever. But, and the other thing is, I also think, and again, this is just me, my opinion, I think it should be 21 to vote for that same reason. Kids don't know what they're voting for yet. They've got nothing. 18-year-olds, they got nothing to vote on. They've got no skin in the game yet. So it's kind of that same thing. And again, call me whatever you want. Call me, but kind of back to this war thing. I kind of lost on Facebook. I kind of lost a friend, and that's kind of what got me thinking, like, man, is this really worth it? I mean, he wasn't really like a close friend anymore. I mean, when we were like in elementary school, we've been all pretty much lifelong friends. We were like almost best friends in elementary school. We were hanging out all over the place. And I made one little comment about the bombings on Iran, and he just went off on me. You support the war. And I can't be your friend if that. And then he unfriended me, blocked me, and whatever. I mean, and to be fair, to be honest, I don't support the war. I don't want to be involved in any kind of wars, but I do want to not be bullied anymore. We've had such weak leadership for so long that we've been bullied, and now we finally get somebody that's willing to say, no, we're not going to put up with it anymore. Here, take that. Now will you listen? I mean, they've been on this anti-nuke treaty or whatever that Obama signed from clear back in like 14, 15 years ago. They weren't supposed to have nukes. They signed, Obama supposedly signed an agreement and had a deal with them that they weren't supposed to make them. We were supposed to shut them down. They were supposed to only use their nuclear sites for something peaceful, like nuclear power type stuff. They weren't supposed to use them for weapons, but apparently they did. And, and sometimes talking doesn't work, and being bullied all the time because our leadership's so weak that Trump came in and said, no, peace by strength. And that's what we're doing. And now since then, he's got a he's got a ceasefire, and I don't know if they're working on any kind of actual peace agreements, but they've at least got a ceasefire where they're not shooting at each other anymore. And it's a start. He's ended the Pakistan, India. They bombed each other. That one was really nothing. It was like a day or two, and he had that one settled. But there's just, and my goal in this sabbatical, if you will, it may not technically be a sabbatical, but it's just to get away from the negativity. Trying, like I've said, if there's like any legit hater trolls, I'll just delete the comment. If it comes down to it, I'll just, delete it or block if I have to. And same with Facebook. I'll just, and I've been trying to do better even at that. I've been still going through, and it's like, my fingers are like this, wanting to comment, and I back off. It's like, just whatever. Just don't get involved, because it really can drag the spirit away. I'm not trying to be triggered. I'm not trying to let it, but when those on the left, you can't really, I go on there because debating is good. Protesting is good and debating is good, but they don't debate. You make a comment and they can't even get on topic, let alone stay on topic. They just resort straight to, you're an idiot for watching Fox News or whatever. It's like, I didn't even say anything about Fox News, but they just default straight to calling idiots, and it's just, and having difference of opinion is good. It's, there's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion, and that's the same thing. And like with losing this friend, I just had one little thing that, all of a sudden he thought I was Mr. Evil because I support World War III because I supported the bombings of. So how's your World War III coming? How's that going? Just a question. How's your World War III going? Just say it. And I know there's supposedly sleeper cells, and they could be active anytime, and, the 4th of July is coming up. So, I mean, who knows? All I can say is stay out of the big crowds, and don't be where the problem is, because, the problem is obviously the bigger cities. What city, you know what city's close to you that it's going to be in. It's most of the big cities. The smaller towns, they might get eventually, but they're usually the last ones to get hit. But, and if they do, they usually don't get too out of hand. But just like I said, the 4th of July is coming up. There's going to be parties. There's going to be crowds. There's going to be, just, if you do go, just have a good escape plan to get away, just in case. Have a backpack with some getaway gear. I did a video a little bit ago about I called it my get back to the car bag. Just like everybody has a bag. It could be like an EDC bag, but just throw some stuff in there that can get you back to your car if you need to, like, a change of clothes, just like a shirt you can throw on, and maybe a hat if you don't wear a hat or whatever, just so that you can change your identity in case, in case you become a target for some reason. You can get away, and you can change your look if you have to. Throw a hat on or take your hat off. If change your shirt, throw a little over top shirt on, if just so you can get back to your car, because your car will be your getaway. If you can drive, if you're in a spot where you can drive out. If not, then you might have to just grab your get home bag and start walking home. But you obviously aren't going to walk around with your get home bag on your back. You got to have a littler bag to get you back to the car, and then get your either drive away or get home and skedat. But have a good plan. If you are, I'm not trying to say don't go have fun, don't celebrate, but if you do go to a big crowded place, an arena or a stadium, or just be aware. Keep your head on a swivel. The world is getting crazy, and stay protected if you can. If you're in a place where you can carry, or if you're in a state that you can carry, make sure you're armed, just in case. I know some places, some venues won't let you take weapons in, but if you can, do it. Take whatever you can. But anyway, again, I'm just trying to, like I said, I'm just trying to get some negativity out of my life a little bit. I kind of started dropping downhill a little bit. I was doing good, and I start dropping down a little bit, and I need to get back to that, and I need to just kind of, like I said, I call it what you want. If it's, I'll call it a spiritual sabbatical, but I know it's not really a sabbatical, because, or at least the way you see it on YouTube, they call it as a get away from work, take a break from work. I think it's more than that, because it's something more spiritual than getting away from work. I think it should be more of a just take a break from the world and refocus your mind on what really matters. Getting back in tune with the spirit, and getting back to things that you love to do, and the people, places, and things that you love, and get some of that negativity out of your life. But anyway, that's what I'm planning on doing. I'll still do videos. I'm still gonna, but there's gonna be a little bit of changes. I've got some ideas. I've got some videos coming out that going to be a little bit different. I'm still going to do some news articles. I'm still going to pretty much do a lot of the same stuff. It's just going to be a little bit different look, different feel. Not going to try not to be so negative, but anyway, that's about all I got. I appreciate you. Love y'all, especially you subscribers and those that might want to subscribe. Again, I'm trying to hit that 8,000 mark before the end of the year. Still got a little ways to go, but we still got 6 months, so I think we can do it. I think we can work together, and we can get there. We're a family. I couldn't do without you, and we're growing slowly. I get 1 to maybe between 1 and maybe 10 subscribers per day. So I see everyone that comes in, and every one of you is like, dang, more? Oh, this is awesome. I never could imagine I'm talking about 8,000 subscribers, and I'm, this is me. And, I know to some YouTubers, they're like 8 million, but I'm not them. And I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be who I am. And if you like it, cool. Subscribe. If not, well, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Anyway, that's the video. Appreciate y'all. Links will be below if you do feel like supporting the channel, or if you want to check out some of my other channels. I'm starting to funnel some of my DIY repair videos into another channel. If that's what you're here for, if you're here for those videos, I'm moving them over to another channel, because it's kind of it is what it is. I'm just kind of funneling those over. And that channel's growing. It's growing pretty quick too, so hopefully we can get that one up and going. But anyway, enough rambling. Appreciate y'all. Love you. We'll see you in the next one.